well. When it rains, it pours. How did Jamaica find itself in this position with so many enemies in our midst? They want Independence Day celebration, the anniversary of it, on the 6th of August of each year. They want that scrapped. They want Emancipation Day, the anniversary celebration of it on the 1st of August in each year. They want that scrapped. But what it is that they want? Well, I will tell you all about it shortly. But before I go on, let me welcome you to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping me company as usual. If you are here with me for the first time, welcome. Please consider subscribing to the channel, sharing, giving the video a thumbs up if you like the content, as well as feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. To my subscribers, my many subscribers, and I thank you all for subscribing. I don't think I don't appreciate it, but I do, yes. So to my subscribers and regular viewers, welcome back. It's always nice to have you. And as for Miss Andal, Lord my dear, every time I upload a video and I go into the video, so let me see if anybody comment. There is Annie, always on the dot, first to comment. Thank you very much, my darling. I do appreciate it. Don't think I don't. Yes, I do. So congratulations to you, Anne. I give you a big and special big up. Yes, man. You figure them quick, man. All right. So to everybody, please remember now to go ahead and give the video a thumbs up from now on. Because, you know, when we get into business, you don't want me to be telling you to and asking you to give the video a thumbs up at that point. And please also share widely, because this now is a message that every household and every Jamaican living here needs to know, needs to think about, and needs to consider, because there is a move afoot to destroy the nationhood of this country. What them hope to replace it with, I do not know. But anyway, we want this video to go far and wide, so please send it out to everybody. And I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right, so now you're back with me. Let us get down to business. Now, what you're looking at here are the officers of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. The Private Sector Organization of Jamaica was established way back in 1976. Now, in a country where this is the first thing I want you to pay attention to. In a country where the demographics are that the vast majority of the people are the people from the continent, them calling Africa, the vast majority of the people. That is their genotype, I suppose you'll call it, yes. Not only are they from the continent, but the vast majority of the people are unmixed. Yes, unmixed, and look just like the people on the continent, right? And you know, on the continent, people have various looks, right? Including some of the looks you see here, right? And there are some looks that did not originate on the continent at all. No, that we should have, and what is more, there are lots of businesses in Jamaica too. Big business, small business, in between business. And as an umbrella organization, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, you would think that you have some black people that look like the black people in Jamaica that are in business as well. Big business and small business. And yet It's an extraordinary thing that you have 2, 4, 6, 8 members who are officers of the PSOJ, and the majority is represented by the minorities in this country. So who it is that the PSOJ represent? And now we understand why it is that when they speak so insularly. It's always about them and their narrow business and personal interests. I have never heard this organization advocating for any policy that is in the best interest of the majority of the people. No, they have always been advocating for policies that is in their own best interest, even policies that goes against the interests of the majority. It's always about them. Now we know why. Look at them. Look at them. That is the interest that they represent. Now we know. And what you're looking at now are the past presidents of the private sector organization of Jamaica. So what them look like? You see what them look like? Good. Let me now bring something to your attention which I found extraordinary. And I don't know. I mean, when I heard it, I couldn't believe my ears. I said, no, I must look up this thing. Having looked it up and read it, I said to myself, no, so I have to bring this to your attention because I want to hear your opinion on this. All right? So here goes. This is something that the PSOJ put out. And as you can see from the title, it says PSOJ supports merging of Emancipation, Independence Day holidays. And it was published October 1, 2024 in the Observer. So it says here the private sector organization of Jamaica has come out in support of a proposal to amalgamate Jamaica's Emancipation Day and Independence Day into a consolidated national public holiday. In a statement on Tuesday, the PSOJ said feedback from its members regarding the potential economic, you hear that? You see what I'm start though? Economic, cultural, and societal benefits of a shift in the Independence Weekend format will what? Preserve and strengthen cultural heritage. By combining the two holidays into a dedicated period of national reflection and celebration, there is an opportunity to create a more robust, unified celebration that highlights both Jamaica's liberation from slavery and its journey to independence, the statement read. A consolidated Emancipation holiday can serve as a platform for promoting local tourism and cultural activities, attracting both domestic and international visitors. This will provide a much needed economic stimulus for the tourism, entertainment, and cultural industries while also fostering national pride. Oy. So, national pride at the last part, eh? Ah, there we go, there we go. It's the Don Man indeed. In a Don Anderson poll commissioned by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport conducted in 2020, that's 4 years ago, over 60% of the Jamaicans supported a proposal for the Emancipation Day and Independence Day holidays to be merged and celebrated on the first Friday in August, followed by the Monday, thereby creating a long holiday weekend. You hear that? They come with the money and then they show us the tourism improvement, dangling it before us. Because in here, so we licky, right? Well, evidently the 60% did not know what it was or understood the question that Don Anderson was asking, because no sooner than the PSOJ run out with confidence, ready to negotiate this business about merging our Independence Day and the Emancipation Day from a poll that was done 4 years before. 2 days later, on the 3rd of October, this is what they published, this time on their website. The other one was in the Observer, when they came up big and bossy and bold with it. The one I read for you, Observer. It says here, the PSOJ clarifies position on Emancipation and Independence Day holidays. Why? Let us find out why. So, on the 3rd of October, the private sector organization of Jamaica wishes to address recent media statements that have misrepresented our position on the Emancipation Day and Independence Day public holidays. We categorically refute claims suggesting that the PSOJ has proposed merging these two significant holidays into a single day. No, that's not what they were saying. Them said scrap it, excuse me. They're saying to scrap them, scrap those 2 days, and have a weekend, the first Friday to the Monday, the 4 day consecutive day holiday, and that will be the celebration. They never said anything about the 2 days merging. They want the 2 days scrapped. But anyway, let us read on and hear what them say, because who to tell, maybe them change their mind about that too. All right, they said, we categorically refute claims suggesting that the PSOJ has proposed merging these two significant holidays into a single day. Such assertions are entirely false and do not reflect our actual proposal or intentions. They went on to say, in our recent submission to the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, the PSOJ acknowledged the profound historical importance of both Emancipation Day on 1 August and Independence Day on the 6th of August. Did you get that impression from what I read in the Observer? That they were of the view that Emancipation Day falling on the 1st of August and Independence Day falling on the 6th of August were of a profound historical importance. Did you get that impression? I thought that the days were not important, and what was important was the money that we were going to get, the tourism that we were going to get, and of course, the historical celebration and them kind of things there. Yes, that would come with it as well. It was the first Friday of August to the Monday of August with no mention of the date. But now, seem as if the 40% more louder than the 60%, and the people must have been raising one hell. Them decide now that they went to Babsy and expressed to Babsy that they understand the profound historical importance of the Emancipation Day on the 1st of August. In other words, they are acknowledging that the people want Emancipation Day to be on the anniversary of the date when it occurred, which was the 1st of August. The date it occurred, the 1st of August, 1838, and the people want it to be celebrated on the 1st of August. To them, that is significant. So suddenly, they realize now that the day is important after all. And so is the same with Independence Day being on August 6th. That's what this is saying. Anyhow, let's read on. They went on to say these dates, separated by a mere 5 days, emasculate Jamaica's journey from the abolition of slavery to the achievement of self-government. We recognize that these public holidays play a crucial role in celebrating our national identity, preserving our cultural heritage, and providing well-deserved rest for our workforce. Let me see if we can do that again. Them saying that them now recognize that the holidays on the date, the 1st of August and the 6th, right, plays a crucial role in celebrating our national identity, preserving our cultural heritage, and providing well-deserved rest for our workforce. Now, That is them now saying something that they had forgotten to say in the Observer article. There was no reference at all except to talk about the cultural heritage being preserved and so on, right? The crucial role of it in celebrating our national identity was never thought of. Them thinking about it now because backlash must have reached them. Let's read on. However, in other words, notwithstanding all of what I just said, as an organization committed to Jamaica's socio-economic development, we must also consider the challenges faced by businesses. You see, what did I tell you? The only thing that these people think about is their own narrow personal and business interests. However, as an organization committed to Jamaica's socio-economic development, we must also consider the challenges faced by businesses in a developing economy like ours. The current arrangement of having two major holidays in such close proximity often results in extended periods of reduced productivity. So then go on a productivity card now, right? Which is something that no will appeal to government. Woo, productivity is falling. No, man, we have to do something about that because how we're going to get taxes. As many workers and businesses tend to bridge the gap between these dates with additional time off. So what that have to do with you? You giving anybody any time off? Don't, if you tell the people to come to work, then come to work, or you're not going to pay them for the day when they're absent. So what if somebody else want to give the workers time off? That's their business. But let us continue. This phenomenon, sometimes referred to as a holiday hangover, can disrupt economic momentum. And the government, them I talk to now, government not like hear them things there. You see the extent to which they're going to get their point across because they want this thing. Particularly in key sectors such as manufacturing, tourism, and agriculture. Now, what is he talking about? If a cruise ship come into the pier, into the port, right? The inbound shops are open and it does not matter what day. If it's even Christmas Day that ship come in, the cruise ship, the inbound shops are open. The restaurants that serve the tourists, they are open as well. The jewelry, all of them are open. And the hotel, of course, is a 24-hour business. So what is he talking about? Well, how tourism come into it? Anyhow, according to them, that this can disrupt economic momentum, particularly in key sectors such as manufacturing, tourism, and agriculture. Well, I don't know about agriculture, but let us read on. To address these concerns, while still honoring the significance of both holidays, the PSOJ has proposed the creation of a single extended weekend holiday period, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. This approach aims to focus and potentially amplify the impact of our national celebrations. To gauge public sentiment on this idea, we conducted a survey in August 2024, which revealed that 67% of respondents support the concept of a consolidated holiday period. What they're basically saying here is that they did a poll in August of this year. Now, what the Observer reported was that a poll was done in 2020. So it's two polls I'm saying now showing that over 60% of the people said them support the concept of a consolidated holiday period. You see the extent to which these people are going? You seeing it for yourself? Why? Why? The PSOJ went on to say, our proposal draws inspiration from successful models in other countries. For instance, Singapore, a highly productive nation. So then gone back on it again. So they might try to appeal to the government now. Singapore, a highly productive nation, has implemented policies to minimize the impact of public holidays on productivity by clustering holidays and encouraging the observance of key cultural events over weekends. This approach has contributed to Singapore's labor productivity growth, averaging 3.1% per year from 2000 to 2020. Now, let me pause here and take a look at what it is that they are talking about. We are going to look up the information ourselves. Very wise, isn't it? So, here we are looking at the public holidays in Singapore. Now, the PSOJ said, right? Singapore public holidays, according to them, they are clustered, right? They have chosen to cluster key cultural events over weekends. You hear that? That's what them say, right? And then they went on to say that the reason for them doing so is to minimize the impact of public holidays on productivity. And because they did so, they increased their labor productivity by 3.1% for 20 years from 2000 to 2020. And we are going to examine that as well. Great. But as you can see from the Singapore's calendar of public holidays, they celebrate New Year's Day. What day did it fall on? A Monday. Is Monday a weekend? No. Then there is a Chinese New Year. That was celebrated this year on the 10th of February to the 11th of February, which happened to fall on Saturday to Sunday, right? It was a weekend holiday. I don't know if that was what they saw. And then they decided to come with this Anansi story, right? But read what it says in the fine print. The holidays fell this year on the weekend, and they said Monday, the 12th of February 2024, will be a public holiday if your rest day falls on the 11th of February 2024. In other words, this is telling you that in Singapore, whenever a public holiday happens to fall on a weekend or on a Sunday, it is celebrated the Monday, right? So that alone destroyed the damn lies that the PSOJ put out. It has to be lies. You can't have people so intelligent. People who are supposedly grow good. Them can read and write and them can understand plain English. And they came and told you that the people in Singapore streamlined their public holidays to always occur on a weekend because them don't want Mondays to Fridays, which is a work day, to be impacted by any public holiday. That's what they are telling you. And here it is. The Chinese New Year fell on the weekend, and they are telling you in Singapore that it is celebrated on the Monday. No week day, which is supposed to be your rest day, is supposed to be celebrated as a public holiday. It must be your work day. When you look at the calendar again, you see another holiday, public holiday, which is Good Friday, which obviously occurs on a Friday. So that again debunk their claim. The next holiday on their calendar is the Hari Raya Puasa, which is a Muslim holiday which occurs at the end of Ramadan. And that date varies. As you can see, it occurred this year on April 10, and that was a Wednesday. You see how these people lie and wicked? The next public holiday on their calendar is Labor Day, which occurs on the 1st of May of every year. And this year, it occurred on a Wednesday. You see any consolidation of all of them holidays so far on a weekend? You see anything like that? So where them get for them story from? Then now you have Vesak Day. And Vesak is celebrated on the full moon of the lunar months of Vesaka, usually during April, May, or June, right? This year, that holiday was on May 22, a Wednesday. You saw these people lie and wicked. There is another Hariraya Haji, right? That is celebrated on a Monday. And then we come now to National Day. What is National Day? That is Singapore's Independence Day. And Singapore got their independence the 9th of August 1965. And they celebrate the 9th of August every year as their Independence Day from 1965 until now. So, what are these minority people in the private sector organization talking about, using Singapore as an example? When here you have Singapore celebrating their Independence Day on the 9th of August every year. It's the anniversary of when the event took place. So why do they want our Independence Day celebration on the anniversary of when the event took place, the 6th of August? Why do they want it scrapped? What are these people up to, my peeps? Because they must be up to something. So we have now shown that when the PSOJ claimed in that press release, that they said was to clarify what they said before, that clarification contained lies, misinformation, to put it mildly. Right? So, what kind of clarification was that? But we want to thank the PSOJ immensely, because we went and did some investigation. We found out something of high interest. That Chinese New Year that is being celebrated seems to slap them in the face. You know, and I know, that China is one of the most productive people in this world. And China celebrates their New Year. It's called the Chinese New Year. And the first day of their New Year begins on the new moon. And that usually comes on each year between the 21st of January and the 20th of February. So anytime between then, when they calculate that the new moon will begin, that is when their New Year's begin. And that celebration is not a one-day celebration like ours. Reading what it says here, the Chinese New Year of 2026, they're talking about in the next 2 years, falls on February 17th, which is a Tuesday, and will last to February 21. So the 17th, 18, 19, 20, 21, that's a 5-day celebration, right? Listen to what it says. As an official public holiday, Chinese people can get 8 days off work from February 16 to February 23. You hear that? The most highly productive people in this entire world, the Chinese, one of them at any rate, right? When you look upon for them export and what them are going with, they have a holiday, the Chinese New Year's holiday, which is a celebration of the new moon, right? And when they're celebrating for 5 days, they give their workers time off for 8 days. In 2026, the holiday is going to begin February 17. So the day before is when the people in China can start their day off, I guess, for preparation, right? And then they don't return to work until 2 days after the public holiday is over. You're giving them 2 days to recover. Why is it that the PSOJ is not suggesting that we take advantage of the fact that Emancipation Day is on the 1st, Independence Day is on the 6th of August, and why not do like what they do in China and make the days between the 1st of August and the 6th of August public holidays? You're talking about money. You don't want to make money? As how you going to make money? It will be public holidays. The people take the day off from the 31st of July and then don't come back to work until the 8th of August. Follow exactly what the Chinese do and see if we can get our productivity up. Why them don't suggest that? Because them have the mentality of a slave owner. That's them problem. Right? They want our rest days to be public holidays so that we can work for the how much 240 days in the year, strictly for them. Them want them pound of flesh for the money that them paying us. These people could never ever be Jamaicans. They must carry passport for some other country and owe them allegiance to those countries. Them only reason for being here evidently is because they're making money. And if them business were to go down, you don't notice it. Anytime them business go down, them private sector people, the first thing they do, they gone foreign. Never had no ties to this country in the first place. They're only here to make money. And we are supposed to subsidize them, right? With cheap labor so that them can make super profit. So, this is what I brought to your attention. I thought was necessary too. Because I personally believe that this is what we ought to do. Have the days, public holidays, from the 1st to the 6th, right? Public holidays. And then do like what the Chinese do. The day before the 1st, the worker get the time off. And 2 days after the holidays end, right? Them come back to work 2 days after. They should be rested by that time, ready and gearing to go. Ready and gearing and rearing to go to make some good productivity for the country, right? So let's now look at their claim. Now that we've debunked this idea that it was the clustering of public holidays on the weekends that increased the productivity in Singapore by 3.1%. That now, not Nagoso, make up story that, right? Nancy's story. Let us now see if we can discover what it was that caused the 3.1% productivity increase, if anything really goes off it true, right? Let us see. It says here, the Business Times, Singapore's labor productivity up 2.4% a year since industry transformation maps roll out, MOF. Let us see what that is. So it is an article written by a young lady, Sharon C., and we want to thank her. And the date on the article, which when it was published, was November 1, 2024. I went so far as to give the timestamp, 5 p.m., their time. Good. So it says here, real income grows 1.9% per annum in the 23 ITM sectors, says latest Singapore public sector outcomes review, right? Official information this now she's giving us. Great. And she's now talking about the Singapore economy. Now, if you look at the fine print just below where it says the Business Times, it says here from 2005 to 2015, labor productivity had a compound annual growth rate of just 0.5%, said the past reports. So, you hear that? And they said that the labor productivity was 3.1% every year from 2000 to 2020. Now that the PSOJ did say. And here it is that the Singaporeans are saying from their official public record, right? That between 2005 to 2015, 10-year period, the labor productivity was just 0.5% compounded. We catch them in another lie. And they need to come out and explain these things, these discrepancies that are found in their press release that they claim supposed to clarify something that they had said before. Anyway, Ms. C went on to say Singapore's labor productivity has grown 2.4% annually since the rollout of industry transformation maps began driving wage growth in those sectors, according to the latest Singapore Public Sector Outcomes Reviews on Friday, November 1. You want to hear that? Let me read it again for you. So she's saying that the government in Singapore put out what they called Singapore Public Sector Outcomes Review, right? It's done by their Ministry of Finance. Put it out. And they are saying that the labor productivity of Singapore increased by 2.4% every year ever since them roll out this program they call it Industry Transformation Maps, right? And what did it do? It began driving wage growth in those sectors, according to the report. So what happened? They were having a productivity problem. Between 2005 to 2015, they realized that the productivity was only increasing by a meager 0.5%. So they decided to do something about it. And what did they do? They decided to come up with this ambitious program they call the Industry Transformation Maps. And what happened during that program is that the wages started to go up. And when the wages went up, they found a 2.4% annual productivity increase. So it had nothing to do with any public holidays. And to prove the fact that this is what they are saying, let us read a little further. They say here, labor productivity measured by real value added per worker achieved such growth from 2016 to 2023 despite the economic shocks from COVID-19 pandemic, said the report. This led to annual growth of 1.9% in real median gross monthly income of full-time employed residents in the 23 that program sectors, right? So there are 23 industries within that transformation sector. It seems to me that this is a program that pays the workers whenever they increase their productivity. One of those productivity incentive programs they must be running there. So here we go at last. It says, but performance for 2016 to 2023 was uneven across sectors. Labor productivity grew 3.1% per annum in outward-oriented sectors, but fell 0.3% in domestically oriented ones. Now, I suspect they're talking about outward-oriented sectors. That must be export, right? So those industry that's involved in export, they saw their labor productivity increase by 3.1% per annum, while those that are producing for domestic consumption saw their labor productivity fell by 0.3%. So their claims about Singapore a pure lie, not Nagoso, nothing at all Nagoso, right? So let's now see what else they have to say, because now they jump on Japan's back. According to them, similar to Japan's Golden Week, our proposed extended celebration could potentially increase domestic travel and participation in national celebrations. According to them, in Japan, domestic travel during Golden Week increased by 8.9% in 2021 compared to previous years, indicating greater engagement with national traditions. So they must say, put the thing over the weekend, man, Friday to Monday, and you will see more people that travel up and down in Jamaica, is basically what they're saying. Our proposal envisions an organized weekend-long celebration that could attract tourists to participate in cultural events, concerts, and festivals, thereby boosting revenue across various sectors. You hear them? You hear that? All right, let's go look now and see what it is they're actually doing in Japan. Now remember, they are proposing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? Let's see what they do in Japan. So they were drawing inspiration for their proposal from Singapore and from Japan. They spoke about the Golden Week. So let's see what this Japanese Golden Week is all about. It says, Japan's Golden Week is a week-long holiday period that takes place in late April and early May. The dates for it this year were April 29 to May 5. Let's count. April 29, the 30th, the 1st of May, 2nd of May, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's 7 days, right? And it began the Monday on the April 29 and ended on the Sunday, which was May 5. A whole week holiday. And Japan, we also know, is one of the most productive countries in this world. So the private sector organization seems to me to be shooting themselves in the foot. This is a holiday, right, that incorporated 5 consecutive days of work days. That are when the people would normally be working. They decide to take that and give the workers 5 days in addition to the other public holidays, because they have other public holidays too in Japan. Nobody think it's just this alone. Nobody think it's just the Chinese New Year's they have alone in China, right? 5 consecutive days, public holiday, right? And then they have them rest day, which I suppose is either Saturday or Sunday or both. And that is their Golden Week celebration. So the private sector organization, in my mind, and I don't know what you think, is not interested in productivity. If they were, then they would not have been proposing what they propose, to use your rest day on Saturday and Sunday. And in some instances, that's the day when you also worship. They give you examples, knowing very well what is happening in other countries that make their people productive. They don't want to do that because that is cutting into their money. So what they want to do is to use your worship days and your rest days, according to them, to minimize your inactivity when you should be working for them. Now, I'm telling you all of that in order to tell you this, that these people that you see here, the private sector organization of Jamaica, do not represent you and me. They're acting as if they are enemies of the state. How can you have a celebration that means so much to the people of this country in terms of our freedom and our rights to exist as free people? Emancipation Day, after what? Nearly 400 years of subjugation. 12 generations of people. 12 generations of people enslaved, and then get them freedom. And you are going to come and tell them, say, because you see or believe that your interest is not being served, according to you, it's affecting the production of the country, right? We must scrap the celebration on the anniversary of that day and do the same. You don't even say Emancipation Day, no. We must do the same, according to you, with Independence Day. Independence Day is a day of our freedom from imperialism. And some wicked wretches, out of greed and evilness, subjugated we and our ancestors for nearly 400 years. And we got our freedom, and we must celebrate our freedom. And you are saying that we must scrap that too. We must scrap the anniversary celebration of our independence on the 6th of August because you don't think you're making enough money. So what you want we to do, according to you? We must follow what they're doing in Japan called the Great Week. That's what you say now. You say so. And you went on to say that they're making bags of money out of that. So this is all about money. Our cultural expression and the money we can gain from it. And what are you proposing? That we should ignore the 2 days of this massive monumental importance to all of us here in this country as Jamaicans. Our cultural identity, we must abandon that and have instead a 4 consecutive day celebration. The first Friday to the Monday, and that we must celebrate now as emancipation and independence. We must celebrate all of that, and whether or not the celebration fall on the 2 days. The 2 days are no longer important. What is important now, according to you, is the celebration. And you see that as a means of not only cultural this and that, but also that we can bring in tourists and make money and all them kind of thing. Which part in this world you could have go take? Where in this world you could have go and tell anybody that and them not run you out of town? Me peeps? Look at them and look at them good. Do they look like they are an accurate representation of the population of Jamaica? And them, who are not an accurate representation of the people of this country. They are in the minority. And they want us to scrap our independence celebration and our emancipation celebration. Our cultural identity must be scrapped so that they can make some more monies. What are these people up to? And the funny thing about it is that they say that they hope and anticipate that it will be implemented by next year in 2025. What it is about you, Mas Andrew Holness, you me talking to now, what it is about you that they believe that them could come to you with them kind of argument and shot them $2 and run them out of the place. You think they could have got to PJ with that kind of argument? You think they could have got to Portia? I doubt they could have got to Bruce, and me not think Siaga would entertain them. Much as he's also a minority, me not think he would entertain them with that too. But it look like them all think you're an idiot, Mas Andrew. Like everybody seem to think black people fool. Them think you fool too. They went and hired Don Anderson. And Master Anderson went to the people and put the argument to them, and them say, yeah, look like something we can work. So them think the poll is going to convince you to take away from us our national identities. To make a weekend celebration, talking about this and talking about that, not celebrating the anniversary of our independence. Which part in the world them say that happen? Tell them to come and show you where. Matter of fact, don't even entertain. And then come to you, shot them $2 and run them out of Jamaica House. Shot them $2. You have our permission. Since them don't understand, said enough, come to you with them argument. $2 and send them out. That ought to set them to rights. What a piece of, I don't know what to say. I mean, this is incredible beyond belief. My next question is, did Mark Golding and Peter Bunting go to these people in the private sector organization of Jamaica and promise that they would do the same thing? That by next year, according to them, when they win the election, they will implement it? Is that it? Is that why they were so brazen? I mean, this is brazen beyond belief. I am prepared to bet that none of you here carry only a Jamaican passport. I am prepared to bet that every single one of them smaddies you see me have here, so the officers of the PSOJ, every one of them have citizenship in another country where they go or they went and swore allegiance to a foreign state. Them not have no loyalty to this country. Them not like black people. They are only here, living here because of the climate, and this is the place where they are making their monies. We live here. We have to have our cultural expression. And we have to have our identity. We don't have full identity already. Mr. Metriciago is at the front. And now the president, he has his identity. You think you can go to Lebanon or go in one of the Arab countries, go tell them about them to scrap them Independence Day? Or go scrap one of them, any one of them holidays that them have pertaining to them own national identity? The Amar and the gentleman round the back there, Indians. You can go India, go tell India or Pakistan or Bangladesh that they must not celebrate them. I mean, these people are flipping mad. And take we as black people for big head bud. Them think we fool. So them can come and tell we this and we would notice what them telling us. Enemies of the state. You see them, my peeps? I think we should look at these people. These are just a group of minority with their own private and personal business interests, right? If they believe so much in what they're saying, why have they not advocated for the same thing during Christmas? Christmas is the same thing. You have Christmas Day, you have Boxing Day, and 7 days after Christmas, you have New Year's Day. How come I never hear one complain about that and the productivity surrounding that? How come? My peeps, you never hear them complaining that we should do something about the fact that we have Christmas Day, Boxing Day, 2 days, and then the following week we have New Year's Day. It's the same thing. You have Independence Day on the 6th. You have Emancipation Day on the 1st. 5 days apart. During Christmas, the same thing occurs. You have Christmas Day on the 25th, Boxing Day the 26th, and 6 days later, you have New Year's Day. How is it, if it is so important for us to get our productivity up, how is it you never hear these private sector people complain about that? And that is just a religious celebration. Because it suits them. They make a whole heap of money during Christmas. But they want us now to scrap the two most significant public holidays in the history of the black people of this country. For what? Them people are mad people. Mad people. And every single one of our business should be boycotted. Me just go and look up and see what business you involved in, and I never buy a thing from you. Never. You need to sink. Blatant piece of impertinence. My peeps, thank you so much for joining me as always. Thank you for sharing, liking, subscribing, and leaving your comments in the comment section. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and walk good.